Hi there, hello, good evening, and welcome back, importantly, to Immersive Realms. I need to mute Twitch. There we go, that was an echo. Welcome back, hi. Tis I, your illustrious host, Matt with Power, aka Chef, aka Matt, and I hope we are all doing well this evening. As per the usual, I am joined by my lovely players. Hello, lovely players.
Hello, lovely DM.
Thank you very much. Couple new fresh backgrounds, which is nice to see. We've been a bit away because we've been a bit busy for a lot of us. Andy, since we've been away, is there any updates?
Updates. So we've had you resubscribe for 5 months. Let's go.
What? It's 10?
I know. It literally says Matt with Power resubscribe for 5 months at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 10 months. Make up your mind. It'll be yes. Is it 10 months or is it 5 months? But anyway, so it's 10 months. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. We do have a couple of announcements on the scheduling side of things. I know we're trying to get back into the swing of things, but next week we won't be here. And on the 25th, is it 25th? 25th.
Oh, that Friday is, yeah.
Yeah, 25th of this month we won't be here either. Oh, and we've lost the DM.
That's alright, we don't need him. We'll improvise a session ourselves.
We'll just run through this whole campaign ourselves now. We don't need a DM.
I checked a calendar and disconnect from Discord instead.
Fair. So yes, we will not be here next week, and we will not be here on the 25th of October. Everything else, obviously, keep an eye on the socials, such as Discord and Twitter, etc., and we'll try and keep you up to date there. And yeah, we'll hopefully have more exciting things coming out soon. And I think that's really about it for the moment. So I will fling it back to you, Mr. DM.
Okay.
Are you going for a long one, short one? What are we doing?
Let's go for a long one.
Okay, right. Keep going. Right.
I'm against the wall, Andy! Yeah, boy. What have I caught? Oh.
I don't know where this went. Oh well.
He's called sepsis. That's another thing he's got.
Not again. We be sepsis Saturday in here.
Could be worse.
Anyway.
Could be chlamydia.
Before let's jump in to tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear, which is also named for chlamydia. Last we left off, our group had made their way back to the capital city of Pavmar to do a whole host of various things, including tie-ups and diplomatic relations with the neighboring country, the Republic of Tyrir. The initial meeting went quite well. However, one of the Republicans' members went a little bit rogue and tried to do something nefarious with one of your dear friends, Emmerich. Your blood mage wizard had been outed as such a blood mage. Thankfully, our party rogue, Elleril, was there to intervene and stop any nefarious gains from happening. Emmerich is now under effectively house arrest for his own protection and safety. But you guys then realizing with the refugee problem on your hands and everything else in between, going to the city of Lost Dereem, the city lost to a deadly plague virus or something akin to that, if you could fix the problems there, you could rehouse the refugees and get Lorenthal moving and the war efforts moving as well in your favor. Before you left, you had to go stop in Brazenfort, or Brazenfort depending how you want to pronounce that, to tie up a few loose ends there. Falcoris, you were reunited with your Uncle San. Elleril, unfortunately, has had his ties severed from our friends, the rogue organization, or thieves organization, sorry, after the boss man doesn't seem to be too happy with you. But also, Falcoris, your Uncle San, you met someone from your past, incidentally, from the captain of the ship, the Dark Blossom, the ship that started everything off for you, that was on dry land. You met the captain and agreed to give them their own ship effectively after a bit of a negotiation and back and forth to whenever you need them, they will come and answer. And you're going to have to just take their word that they'll say yes at this point in time, though you do have it under good hope. Joel, you ended up making a deal with the devil, quite literally. You found a succubus, very uwu, made a little deal, and in doing so also gave away the sword of the final say that you had taken, believing it to be safe in the many rings of the Nine Hells. You think there'll be a safe place for it to be kept in return for information on the architect whenever the succubus can find it. After this, you then guys headed north, going past once more the place you always sort of seem to pass Fort Hayden, and keep going north though to a little town called Emos Hamlet. Notably, Wash seemed to put his helmet on as he drew closer, and has kept his face hidden. You guys made your way to a tavern, got some drinks, some respite, and put your feet up after a long couple of days' travel. And then Wash also broke off to go meet an old friend, an old mentor, by the statue. You said your pieces, said what you believe might be your goodbyes, but hopefully not, before you then find your way back to go meet your father. And that was where we left off. So we are going to start off just now with the camera still focusing on our man, would you Wash? Sorry, so I was putting your music on there. My brain can do two things at once, apparently.
Wow, forget my name. Wow.
No, it's not that. Shut the fuck up. We're going to skip this. Do you want your exposition backstory or not?
Yes, I do. Please.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
You walk out the woods, away from the statue and away from her, and you follow a small little dirt path that sort of hugs the outskirts of the wood that Emil's Hamlet has found itself nestled against. And it doesn't take you long at all before you see it. The house that you grew up in, and it hasn't changed much since you last saw it those years ago. You see it's buttressed itself against the woodland's edge. What is the garden is actually goes into the forest directly. You follow this small dirt path, and you see the humble home emerge in the near distance. A simple thatched roof building with wooden walls meets your eyes as you walk past a simple cobblestone well with a worn pail resting on its side. The smell of the forest hangs over this house. You draw ever closer, until before you really know it, you find yourself at the door. A thick one with exposed metal hinges. This close that you can smell that of a smoke from the hearth within that is almost always burning.
I suppose I knock loudly, just two, and I'll just wait, and I'll step back from the door. Actually,
you wrap your knuckles, your gauntleted hands against the wooden door, and it does leave Roseanne and boom, boom as you do. You take your step back. Are you still wearing your helmet, or is that off?
For now, yeah, I'll keep my helmet on just for a moment.
As you wait a little minute, again, not a small or not a big house at all, quite a small one. It only takes a few seconds before you see or hear the door clink clink as a metal latch opens. The door opens a creak about halfway or so, and you see a familiar face peering out at you. If you had a mirror, you could see this is what you would look like in a few years' time, or probably a good few years' time. A very much older version of you stands before you. The hair has gone a lot grayer since last you saw him, the beard a lot longer. Still relatively in shape, but you can tell the signs of age are coming on. What was once farmer's muscles now start to sag a little bit under the shirt as he look out at you with a curious frown. Can I help you?
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to speak.
Is that you?
I'll take my helmet off at that point.
He gives you a sort of look and... Come in. And he takes a step back and opens the door fully for you.
I'll follow him in.
He waits for you to come in before he closes the door behind you. Not in like a menacing way, but that way we just wants to make sure that he shuts the door sort of thing as you're in his home. You look around and it's, again, not a lot has changed at all from when you grew up. You can see that you got the simple wooden staircase that leads up to where the bedroom is, the two bedrooms, yours and then your parents. And you can see here the kitchen, dining, living area that you walked into here with directly in front of you the open hearth. Off to your right-hand side is where the kitchen area is. Then underneath the staircase is where the living, dining area would be as well. You can see there's a dinner place laid for one. And you can see that on the hearth there's currently a large cooking pot that's boiling something within. It smells quite meaty. He gestures for you to take a seat either on the couch or on one of the chairs at the table. Make yourself at home. It's your place after all.
I'll sit directly opposite to the plate.
He watches you and he goes over to one of the cupboards and he sort of gestures. Do you want anything? I've got plenty if you want some.
I'm fine.
Alright. Do you mind if I still have
Go
my dinner?
ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
Thank you. And he begins to start serving himself up what seems to be like a beef-like stew. Quite autumnal in that sort of feel. And there's that awkward silence that hangs over. How you been?
Alive, as you can see.
Aye. My eyes haven't deceived me yet. And what brings you back up this neck of the woods? He says he pours the the stew in and begins to walk over to the other side of you and sits down in front.
Settling rumors, I suppose. Final debts.
Okay. Anything I should be concerned about?
Does the village still think I killed them? And do you, for that matter?
To ask me that now, I'd say aye. But I know the wee boy that you were, and you didn't do it. I've had time to reflect, and I don't think you did it. Actually, that's a lie. I'm convinced you didn't do it. Townsfolk, on the other hand, that's a different tale altogether. Your name doesn't travel well, unfortunately.
Do they still need a monster then?
Some people just like to hang on to the past a wee bit too much. People like to dig up the past as if it was a grave to be robbed. Every time I hear it, I've tried and squash it where I can, but some things are just too embedded. And I'm sorry. And on a deeper note, I think I owe you an apology as well. For doubting you.
Didn't give you much choice, I suppose.
You went where you went, and only you came back. I hope you can. Anyway, that's the past. So I am sorry. I can't take back what was ever said, done, or how I made you feel, but aye.
You've grown soft.
I've been alone.
I am surprised you didn't try remarrying.
No. Your mother was the only one for me. And I don't want to be known as a town harlot, sleeping around to find the next one. So no, your mum was the only one for me. God's rest her. But I've not grown soft. I've just been alone a very long time, with just me and my thoughts in a town that doesn't quite like my name. Done a lot of reflecting. You could call it that.
I hope they don't hold you in contempt.
They see me how they see me. I don't really care. I could move, but I've lived here most of my life, and despite the people, I quite like the place. And no one gives me shit. It's just, you know.
Whispers and glancing looks.
That's the one. Aye.
I have had a couple. Even to a stranger. I think deep down they might recognize something, even with my helmet on.
The aura. I don't know. People are weird here, as you'll probably know growing up anyway, but superstitious farming folk. But
What of their families?
they moved on in whatever way they could. I'm guessing, you know, Sarah's still around, aye? Sarah, sorry. Aye, sorry. She's still around. Doesn't
I suppose
speak.
you don't know how she feels about me, I suppose.
Doesn't speak your name. It's almost like she's erased it from the past. Doesn't speak of any of yous, actually.
Right, well, I suppose to her, it's just one day we were there and the next day we all were gone.
Aye.
And then the scorned comments and glances of grieving parents.
Mm-hmm. Aye, so she doesn't even speak about it. She's still around somewhere out there if you want to.
I have got to settle debts. I'm
She
here
d-
with I'm here with a party of heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Odd folk, but they're good. The defenders of the throne, funnily enough.
Alright. You in big positions now, eh, boy?
No, I'm just a guild hire. One of theirs is off starting a new country or something, some grand auspicious thing. I'm just there to fill their front line.
Well, it's still a
And
big boots to fill, but you've obviously got skills if you've been guild hired for that fucking role. That's impressive.
apparently, becoming a paladin does that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Still praying?
Occasionally.
Keep it up. Do you good.
Never heard an answer back, so what sort of paladin is that, eh?
Well, you've got more patience than me. I never had the patience to really invest in a god properly, so you're one better than me there, man.
Truth be told, I don't see it as some sort of religious investment. It's more just of a exchange of power. If Bodin can't give me what I need to do to destroy that fucking evil place, then I'd gladly oath break just to get something different.
Hold up. Destroy that place. Elaborate.
The country needs Dereem because of the influx of refugees.
Okay.
So they want to clear it. I'm here because I'm here to avenge them. And destroy that curse.
You're not going back, are you? You know what happens to folk that go there.
I know.
You should know better than anybody what happens.
That's why I'm settling my debts. That's why I'm making it known that I'm not dead.
That's appreciated before you go fucking kill yourself, thanks.
You can grieve me twice, or well, at least once this time.
Fuck off. Not doing that. You're seriously going back in there?
I've got no choice.
Alright.
As soon as I fled, my whole life, everything I'd done was to set me up to come back and clear Dereem. I don't even know what I'll do afterwards. No point in thinking about it. I either succeed in my goal and I deal with what happens afterwards, or I die trying, and I just be another skull on the mound that is Dereem. I was
I'll
gonna
tell
do
you
it
this.
myself, but can't shake these bastards.
I'll tell you this then. I don't want you to go there. I'm not going to encourage you. You do not have my blessing. But I wish you all the best. And I want you back to come back here and have a dinner with me afterwards. We've been away for so long and I'm seeing you for 10 minutes before you fuck off into the hell at begin. Come back and
Oh, who knows?
Let me-
Maybe you'll get to. Now that you know I'm alive, you could look for me, learn a bit about me.
I'll let you come back and tell me a bit about you.
Fair enough.
You come here wearing very nice armor, I must say.
That's
And
weird.
in with the fucking throne. Like, so I've missed a few couple of years here. I think something's gone that I'm not quite filled up in, and I want to know what my son's up to. Now that I know he's not dead.
Well, who knows? Maybe I'll come out on top, and if not, I will direct the throne's defenders to sit and actually, or I'll send that girl, Arabella, to come and very anxiously tell you about my legacy, I suppose. It's not much of note. But
I'd rather you came and did it, not someone else's voice.
well, I can do the best that I offer, but I will tell you one thing.
Mm.
No one else has died on my watch.
It's good to hear. At the same time, though, don't carry that burden as if...
I carry
you
it
did
as
was
a
your
badge, not a burden, but my only
Good.
burden is them. Every year, I don't enter the village. I visit their graves. Every single year since then, I've visited their grave. Who the fuck do you think keeps it from being overgrown with weeds?
You know, I did think that. That some wee part of me was either the spirits above or your intervention with your god trying to keep the graves clean. It was stupid, I know, but you know, the little fantasy I clung onto. But now I actually know it's physically you. I'm more pissed off you didn't come say hi. But I get it. I get
I thought
it.
you hated me.
I didn't hate you. Alright?
Well,
Look,
if
I
everyone,
wasn't-
I saw the look in everyone's eyes.
Look, I wasn't a great dad, I'll admit. I carried and gave you too much shit for what happened, especially with your mum. That was not your brunt to bear. Alright? And again, in my loneliness, I've had time to... You do that thing where you stare in the mirror, and if you could just see that person one more time, what would you say? I've done that conversation so many times with you. Thinking I never would, and now you're here and I don't know what to say.
To be honest, it's the same here.
But no, I don't hate you, Wash. And I never did. Wait, I don't know your fucking name's Wash.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, shite! I don't hate
Aaron, Aaron.
I don't hate you, Aaron. I never did.
You know, I have never hated you either. No matter what. They all saw a monster. I mean, hell, even now, if I saw a wee kid carrying the bodies of his friends after coming out of that for hours, slashed, bloodied, him even holding damn knife.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard not to think that I even still have that fucking knife.
Yeah. You sure you don't want a bowl of stew? It's pretty good.
I think, for one, Sarah deserves a choice of anger on me. And I think the town does as well. So next stop is me walking without my helmet into town. Probably a bit grandiose for some people's liking, but
Do you want me to come with you?
no, I'd be worried that they'd hurl insults at you. That's not what I wanted.
You can fuck off as far as I'm concerned. You're my son. Up to you. I can come, I can stay here and... I don't know.
But do you want to meet the best fighters in the kingdom, apparently?
Sure. I think it'd be quite a privilege, Shy.
I don't know if they're the best. They're just the ones recognized by the crown. I'm pretty sure I've met some pretty decent guild adventurers.
Well,
so far
this is
they've been alright.
if this is the best that Crown's got to offer, let me see what you're in with.
Although they're weird as fuck, I'll be honest, they're a proper strange bunch. One of them's just a suit of armor.
Alright.
Fuck knows how that happened. I'm pretty sure he's got dementia as well.
Oh, great. That's fun. Well, let's go see what you got then, eh?
Aye.
He stands up from the table and again opens the front room, the front door for you, and you guys exit. Whilst that's happening, and you begin to make your way through town, helmet off, the other four of you guys, what are you guys up to? I think last we left you off, you were in the tavern having a few little drinky poos.
Probably still pretending to have a drinky poo because I can't have a drinky poo.
Just leaking through his ribcage.
Just pours it down his pores. It's like that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl, when they revealed the zombified stuff.
I was thinking more along the lines of Airplane, where he just keeps smacking it off of his face and pouring it down himself.
Is there anything you guys are up to? Oh, sorry, go. On you go.
Yeah, just while they're setting, earlier I was with Town to Lavender, and I've been thinking about maybe mitigating spread of this disease while we're in there. Could all be quite vulnerable, but maybe it's worth heading out into the wilderness looking for some plants that might be able to, I don't know, block the scent, so to speak.
Do you know of any plants that can do this?
Oh, I was hoping lavender might know some.
Do I?
From your rural training, we'll call it, you know there are many herbs and plants that do a great many things, from healing ointments to balms to ones that, you know, infused with hot drinks and teas can help, even help people translate trance-like states sleep better. Apparently, there are some that will claim these things can cure things like mental illnesses and that sort of stuff, but we're not too sure on that one yet. Jury's still out, really. As far as ones that can outright what Ella was asking, you're not too sure. But that's not to say, though. It's like like in nature, whenever there's nettles, there's dock leaves next to them. Whenever there's something evil, there's something that's a cure nearby. So there could be something.
Could have a look.
I always love that in D&D when someone's like, "Do you know how to do this?" And everyone just turns, "Do I?"
I know. DM?
I don't know what I can do.
Well, if Wash is going to be away for a while, it might be worth going looking, see if we can find anything.
Sure. Joel, would you like to join since you can't really drink an awful lot in here?
I need to rub it in, Lavender.
I'm offering you something to do.
Joel's gonna get his own trench soon.
Joel's gonna fucking need one.
Man, the parapet.
The trench.
Or you can
Joel,
sit here and
not to be-
pretend to drink.
I'll come along.
Not to be insensitive, but do you have a sense of smell?
Do I?
No, you do not. You have no senses.
Wait, if he has no
that's-
senses, then what?
Not even hearing.
You can hear, you can see. You can't smell or taste.
I'm essentially just a statue at that. I'm just gonna sit here. No,
You're just missing two. What the fuck am I talking about? You can't smell and taste.
just gonna sit here. Just gonna sit
So
here.
wait, can he touch? Well, maybe worth we all head out then and see if we can find anything of interest, and you can tell us what we think of it.
Who said that?
Unless you're wanting.
What'd you say?
Turn the music down. Can you see?
Unless you were wanting to stay and nurse that drink, of course.
Well, Falcoris is with the fucking locals talking to them right now.
Trying to
I forgot
mingle.
where everyone is.
Fucking you guys are gonna go, and we're just gonna be like, where the fuck is everyone?
I mean, it's not hard to spot Lavender
imagine
with the
this is, like,
beer. I'm not gonna lie.
casual,
Like,
No, Falcoris is in this inn or the pub or whatever and talking with the
But you're
locals there.
just- Yeah.
Over heading out to have a look. I'll let Falcoris know on the way out in case he wants to join.
hmm
No, you go ahead. I might as well stay here just in case Wash appears.
In that case, the
So,
three of you guys, Lavender,
plants.
Joel, and Elleril, begin to head out into. Where are you going? You're going to the nearby woods, the fields. Where are you guys off to?
We need to get Joel a guide dog first.
just hold on to Brownie. Just,
You got a guide bear, yeah.
you got a
I can't tell if
guide
I'm touching her
bear.
or not. I don't have a sense of touch, do I?
You do. Fuck off.
I'll say, do you want to check the woods? Probably. Denser foliage, more chance of finding something.
So what do we know what we're looking for then? Do we know
Well,
like what it is we're actually trying to find?
not really, but I know medics in the past used to have strong scented plants, kind of. They
I-
cut them
I
up
can use
into.
them, but I'm not sure where to find most of them.
Well, if you guys want, as you guys are sort of walking around, can I get you all to make nature checks for me, please? Lavender, you may do this with advantage, since this is your forte.
Nerd. Yep, Joel's not seeing shit. That's a 3 from Joel.
3. Fucking plants, man.
Yeah, I got a 6.
6. Fucking plants, man.
Lavender, please help.
You guys are walking along whilst Lavender's doing the old roly-poly-olies. You guys are basically following Lavender's lead at this point, as she's going through on her hands and knees, rummaging through all these various different things. To you guys know, she's looking through she's exploring different fungi, flowers, and plants, but whereas Lavender might know the names of some, if not most of these, you've seen them before, sure, but you can tell them if they have any medicinal properties or can be used in anything, but Lavender seems to examine these things and move past them for the most part.
Nature check. That was a 16.
6, was that with advantage, yeah? Yeah. 16.
Dice didn't appreciate being in a box.
But you are investigating along here. Now, from what Elleril was looking for, as far as something that can help combat this madness, so to speak, nothing really springs out to you. However, this wasn't a fruitless endeavor. I would say that on your little search with a 16, you find enough herbs and stuff that you can make a healer's kit.
Passes.
You can now make a healer's kit when you get back to town, which can be used basically as a healing potion sort of thing. So you got one of them. You just need to go make it in town. But you have the ingredients for a healer's kit.
I will let the rest of them know.
Okay.
Didn't find anything, but I could make a healer's kit.
Okay.
That's nothing.
Not that that's not useful, but that doesn't eliminate the problem that we set out to.
I mean, Brownie also
Oh.
had his even walk, if that helps anyone.
Brownie says little poop. The bear does shit in the woods.
But if there's no one around to hear it or see it,
You
Oh,
guys
I guess we're heading back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you guys been out here, I'd say you guys have been out maybe for like 45 minutes to just over, be close to an hour. And by the time you guys arrived in Imol's Hamlet, the sun is not setting, but is on its descent down definitely and will be setting soon. And you'd rather not be caught in unfamiliar wood at night. So you do about turn
well,
and make your way
hey,
back. Falcoris, in the meantime, are you just chatting shit to the locals, or?
I mean, he'll
'Cause
be
they do
talking
try to
because
say-
Falcoris took, well, I can't remember how many years of his life to just go out farming after the shit that happened with the Mirage unit. So he would just be like, just talking to farmers and just seeing how things are going, and like just basically like Yeah, just seeing how
Just
things
chatting
feel
shit.
in the village. Yeah.
Either make a perception or persuasion check, whichever one you like to do, as
Yeah,
you're just
I
chatting
mean-
around to folk.
I mean,
I guess it's the same, aren't they?
I think you're going to find it's going to be a perception check, considering it's a plus
Mhm.
10. My persuasion is actually
Just
just only
because
plus.
if you're trying to overhear rumors, or if you're trying to overhear something, you're trying to like drag conversation out. If that makes sense.
Kind of, but not like not like being like that's my point and all this. It's just like a case of like if I hear something, then fair enough, you know. So I'll do perception.
Yeah, perception, yeah.
That is that's not a good roll. That is a 14.
Just normal farmers' lives, as best you can tell here. There's nothing that much interesting. This is what, as I say, not much interesting to the average ear, but to you, this is like your ideal retirement plan. So this is interesting to you in that sense of, oh, it is actually peaceful out here. Oh, the crop have done well this year, sort of thing. You know, like you're getting the understanding, you know, what farm life is actually like, and you do take a genuine interest in these.
Yeah.
What people would laugh and say as simple folk. You take interest in their lives and their daily goings on, and you enjoy it. You know,
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
quite nice.
That's what Falcors will be doing, just chatting shit.
But as you are having this conversation, chatting, eventually, you do. Pardon me. You do begin to hear a slight commotion outside, and it just sounds like a couple of agitated voices, and you can't, from inside the inn, quite work out what they're saying as of yet. But you do hear a few agitated voices begin to emanate from outside, and as it becomes transparent that you are not the only hearing this, you see a couple of ears inside the bar and tavern sort of pick up and look towards the front door. Wash, as you and your father have made your way through down his little dirt path and begin to enter Imol's hamlet proper, you can see people stop and stare as you put it, they see the monster of their past. People, you actually see mothers ushering children inside their houses. You see men step forward with their simple hoes, but hold them in a more, I'd say, assertive or aggressive pose. And you hear gasps, whispers, and everything else in between of just shock at seeing you brazenly strolling through their little hamlet. And the three of you, Lavender, Joel, and LOL, you guys are coming from the outside or the other side of the town. You guys can see again this. No, you'd be coming from the forest as well. So you're sort of like coming in also from the other side of the town. You see also this gathering of folk. And Falcoris, if you want to step out the tavern, obviously you can. There's not a crowd gathering, but people actually keeping the opposite of Birth away from Wash and his father. As you guys walk into town.
It's very hurtful.
You know, I figured they'd be a little bit, but like this is really you see this kind of thing in plays.
Pretty sure the issue is because they haven't seen you in so long and have built you up to be a big bad beast. They're actually terrified of you.
It's like seeing a
It's
wolf
their own-
cub grow up to be a dire wolf.
Exactly. They've made their own demons and now it's real. But you're just a man.
Yeah, but to them that's the most scary part of it. I was a child before.
Yeah.
Now I'm a threat
Anyway.
to all of them.
I quite fancy a drink, son. Would you like one?
I would
He
like
says
a
quite
drink, if you don't
loudly. Right, ends this way. And he begins to walk forward. And every now and then he'll make eye contact with one of the other locals and just sort of stare them down a little bit as he walks past. But making his way with you to the tavern. And Ella, I was just saying that you, Lavender, and Joel have emerged in the woods and seen this people like treated him like the boogeyman sort of thing. But him and his dad are now walking towards the tavern. And Falcoris, you see Wash and an older Wash walking towards you.
As I see that, and obviously I see
Like
the
a
whole
carbon copy.
Yeah. see the whole birth and stuff like that's happening, and everybody kind of whispering and obviously saying shit, whatever. Can I do another perception check for listening out to what they are saying? Actually, like try and listen in the conversations, and also keeping an eye on the crowd to see if there's any dodgy figures that are, I don't know, maybe just being shocked in that and then like putting hood up and trying to disappear or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Wash will also be prepared if one of them maybe like attacks, just to defend himself, not to hit back. Yeah.
Yeah, but to go on the defensive 100%. And absolutely, Falcora, so you can make a perception check, please.
Right, that is better. So that is a 24.
With a 24, there's one. They're all saying in their own unique ways, but there's one specific word that was flying around like wildfire. Murderer. They're saying in their own individual sentences, but the word murderer is getting thrown around a lot.
And no dodgy figures or
There's
empty trying to
dodgy
hide
figures,
or.
Say people are more defending themselves from wash. No one's going the aggressive. You can tell there's no shady figures ducking behind alleys, as you say. Everyone has got eyes on him, and they are defending themselves from him. It looks like there's no burning of pitchforks going to make an attack on him. They are scared.
So Falcor, so can I just like post up against the door essentially, like right on the outside, and wait for Wash and that to come in, and then like wait for you guys to actually enter the inn, and then Falcor will like duck in with them.
You enter the room unimpeded. You can see the barman behind. That pleasant smiling face sort of drops a little bit. He still claims most of his smile. It's not often that I see you here, Leaf. No, it's not. But my son's back, and I'd quite like a drink if that's okay. Sure. Take a seat and I'll bring an ale over. And you guys are free to take a seat if you like. And sure enough, 2 ales are brought before you. One for yourself, Wash, and one for your father. The barman doesn't seem to take too much notice. You know, doesn't seem like he's on the bandwagon. He knows, you're gathering, he knows, but equally doesn't seem to care.
It's barman.
Mm-hmm. You guys put behind the bar. Give you anything else? Holler. Before you guys goes back in the bar. If you guys are just gonna stand on the door, can you come in or fuck off? Choose, please. And no one else comes in. You have it into yourself.
Just like emptied, right?
Mm-hmm. Way to clear of him.
Alright, Wash will. He's not gonna relax, but he'll like kind of like stretch his shoulders a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose now we just wait. Be surprised if either Parent or Sarah comes in here in a few minutes. As long as word still travels as fast as it used to.
It sure does in a small place like this, boy.
So I suppose we wait.
Indeed.
Don't mean to interrupt. Wash, is everything good here?
Valcorus. This is my father, Leith.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Leaf.
Also, Wash. A name I definitely didn't say earlier, but aye, Wash.
You know the paladin outside of town?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna kick yourself learning that I was stalked by her for a very long time.
You're fucking
She called me Wash because it was the only word that I could basically speak after, you know.
Well, I'm Leith. This is my son, Orin, or Wash,
Aaron.
as I guess you know him by Aaron, sorry.
Terrible father at the moment, I'll be honest.
It's okay, it's alright.
Terrible
Did a
DM.
pretty shit job.
Lavender has purple hair and I can't pronounce one of my players' names, it's fine.
Just, I didn't realise you were going to have a family reunion, but the crowds outside are a little heavy, shall we say, so do you want me to stand watch and make sure everything's alright?
Nah, I'll be honest. I personally don't think any of them will have the guts to even come in here, let alone throw knives.
No one will do
I
anything.
think we'll be alright.
These are
You
simple
sure?
folk.
I'm sure Brownie would like to say hi.
I am
No,
pretty sure the
they're
bear's going to work
scared
enough
of me.
favor.
I don't want to give them ammunition to be more scared of me. It's not a mistake.
Alright, well, I'd better sit to get the story of what the fuck is going on, and then Valcoris will pull out a chair and just like nod to Leaf and sit down.
Not much story to tell.
Elril will uh, get round for everyone in the bar and put what a goal on the deck like around the table.
Big spender.
Sure enough, after a couple of minutes, a mix of ale and shit wine is brought for you guys. There's only red.
Some ale and shit wine.
I'll
That's a-
take the
that's a-
ale. I will
that's
take
a
the
s-
ale. Thank you very much.
That's a session title if I've ever heard one. Ale and shit wine, episode 69. Here we come.
Was the wine made in a toilet?
This is prohibition wine.
So, just to say, Leith, my father, please meet the defenders of the throne. That is
So you're the elites of the
Lavender.
land.
That is Falcoris, obviously you just met him. That's Joel, that's the suit of armor. You can
Joel just
disregard what I
nods.
said afterwards.
Okay.
And that
Creepy
is
fucker.
Celegorm. Or Elril. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still a little unused to the naming conventions, but I believe he's quite recognizable as Elril, once king. Technically still king.
I mean, we
Kind
don't
of.
really follow the royal patterns here, but do I bow? Do I?
No,
I'll just leave it.
certainly not.
All right.
It's
Do I
just
buy you a drink at least, or?
no, of course not.
Okay.
He's a lot less prissy than you'd think royals would actually be.
I've
Yeah.
got
It's
a
a
picture in my
nice
head,
change.
and you're not meeting it, so it's quite nice, actually. aye.
Exactly, it's a nice
Okay.
change.
Can
I
you eat
prefer-
without a knife and fork?
I'll eat with my hands if you can.
Fuck it, don't care. Good man.
Um, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'd prefer kilograms just a minute.
Illigorm it is, sir. Okay, I'm Leith. This is my son, and I've lived here most of my life. Not much to tell. Thought my son was dead. Here we are. It's been a pleasure meeting you all, defenders of the throne.
You can call us Twilight Company.
Twilight Company. That's got a pretty name to it.
Your son's part of us now.
So I see he's a man for the hire, isn't he? On the crown's gold.
Still on contract, you know.
He's still in
Sometimes.
probation.
They still take 20%.
Probation period, you see. You didn't tell me that, son.
I didn't know I was on probation.
No,
I
he's
signed
just-
a piece of paper.
He smiles at Wash. Of course, will just smile at Wash like, I'm fucking jesting. But he'll smile and then he'll go into a kind of serious look and just be like, "All right, it's a pleasure meeting you, Leith. But I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue what the fuck is going on. I'm out there. There's commotion.
Makes a lot of sense, to be
Next
fair.
second, everybody's fucking talking about a murderer walking through town, and they're all looking at your son. So I'm kind of confused at what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that I think he's a murderer because he seems like a good man. When we've had him, he's always done the right things. But a little bit of context would be nice.
Your dad just turns to look at you. Wash. It's your story, lad.
As you can tell, my name is not Wash, as I said before. It's a nickname. It's given me to be by Minetta, who was the last paladin of Bodin. To put it bluntly, I am the last survivor of the curse of Dereem. I am the last person to go in there, and I am the only person as of date to come out. My name is Auron Alith. I have my mother's name, my mother's last name. My other name is Fortker, but it's easy enough to remember Auron, I think. You can still call me Wash, I don't give a shit. As kids, I was part of a wee, like a little group. They were young, barely teenagers. It was me, Sarah, Pirik. That was Leah and Marin. We were kids. And, we'd always heard it's a backwater town. You hear tales of adventures, you hear tales of the Adventurers Guild. You see it as a way to travel and do great things and be famous and be heroes. So, that was our dream, I guess. And they were all special. Really talented. They could have really gone far. I wasn't so much. I was a bit stronger than everyone else, but that was about it. And, but they brought me along. They were my friends. And at one point, it had been a long time since anything happened to Dereem. No one goes near it, so the stories had kind of faded. There's more folk tales at that point. So as young kids, we thought nothing of the legend of the curse of Dereem. So we wanted our first proper adventure to be going and exploring Dereem. And so we did. We explored a bit of Dereem. On the west side, there's a broken piece of wall that you can get through. The gate's shut, the cullis is drawn. But there's a broken wall on the west side. Just opposite a hill. We went there, and Dereem is a strange place. You'll see it for yourself, but it's like life dares not live there. Birds don't fly over, flowers don't grow, weeds, you barely see any. It's like it's frozen in time. And I don't know if it was because we had the glee of being kids, and being young, and just pretending we're on an adventure and fighting each other and swordplay. But I think, it's easy now, but I think whatever is in Dereem, it hides its malice from you. We weren't there for too long. Maybe 2 hours. 3. I can't remember totally. And then it started building. We were a fantastic group of friends. We never really fought or got annoyed at each other, but at this time it was different. Very slowly, aggression started building. Tempers. It was like a boiling pot. It was weird. Then they started arguing. Shouting. And then it started. Morin lost control. Took a branch and hit Pirik over the head. We were kids. That kind of aggression wasn't in us. And Leah joined in. Pirik was dead quickly. They started cackling, laughing. But it wasn't them. I could tell it wasn't their voices. I could tell it was something else. Leah cut down Morin with glee, and he laughed as well. It's like something out of a nightmare. That's where it was when we noticed rusty swords, weapons. Shroombout left. We'd have noticed them before, but we didn't. You know? Leah approached me. I was a kid. I just seen my two friends would kill each other. Took all my goal not to just piss myself, but I was still frozen. And she slashed at me with a rusty sword. That's how I got this scar. Nearly shredded my whole face in half. The only thing I could do was just crawl back, crawl away, as she laughed gleefully. My friends still behind them with smiles on their faces lay dead. And that's when it crept into my head as well. You hear it like a whisper, like a voice in the wind. A horrible voice. Horrible, horrible things. I don't know what it was, but I something else was there. Something else told me to give in to the rage just for a minute. By crawling back, I'd stumbled on a dagger. This specific dagger, and I'll pull out the rusty dagger that I've hang around my neck as my idol. All I could do was kill Leah. To save myself. So I suppose they're not wrong when they call me murderer, but the context is wrong. I'd only apologize. After they fell, the rage left. I don't know why. Something else was there. Something replaced the rage. It was like a calm. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't my calm. My head was spinning. I was anxious. I wanted to run, but I don't know. My loyalty to my friends. Sarah wasn't there, thankfully. She's Leah's younger sister. Or, yeah, Leah still is, I suppose. She was sick. She didn't go that day. Thank God. The only thing I could think to do was carry their bodies back to the wall. I was gone. It was near dark by the time that I'd carried them all. I was so scared I couldn't get rid of the dagger. Couldn't wash myself off of the blood. Couldn't do anything. I got them all to the wall, and then the search party arrived. For a small town like this, people going missing for a whole day. You send the search parties quick. They found me, holding the dagger that killed Leah. Next to 3 bloody bodies, myself covered in blood. They saw a monster. They saw a murderer. They looked in me and I saw fear that I was evil. Even in my father. I ran. I ran into the forest. There was nothing else I could do. The village left me to the wolves. Smart, really. And they assumed I was dead. The only reason I survived is I met my mentor, Minida. And from then I've served as a paladin of Bodin. Vowing that one day I'd come back and I'd cleanse Dereem. And put my friends to rest, because I truly believe their souls are trapped there. I've seen it. I come back every year to visit their grave, and I see that place. No matter where I go, it is evil. whatever is there, if it's a disease, if it's magic, if it's a curse, it is evil and it has an aura about it. And I have to clear it. They can see me as a monster all they like. I don't care. It's those souls that are left over that I care about. Because that place is a mass of soul that is trapped. So I'm sorry for deceiving you all. And the guild. They know none of this. Just the guildmaster.
I hate to do this, but can I do an insight check on him? To just,
know what?
not just to see if he's lying, to get the general feel of everything. Whether there is lies through there, to get what specifically when he talked about the voice disease, the voices, like what came through his eyes. Was it anger? Was it fear? Was it something else? Things like that.
Roll insight.
Yeah,
And then Wash, you can either roll perception or persuasion or deception if you're trying to omit truths, or you can choose to
I-
fail.
do the same, but I'm more so looking just to see in case he's leaving anything out.
Certainly. You two may roll your insight checks.
So I got a 23.
Hello.
I rolled 19 on the die, and I have a +7 for 26.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I willingly choose to fail. He's telling the total truth. And he was terrified of the voices.
Okay.
The good and the bad. He was terrified. Oh, he did admit one thing, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was more by accident, actually, so we got that.
Yeah.
There was a specific voice that told him to run into the woods, and and he assumes that was Bodin, and that was the only thing Bodin has ever said to him. But he doesn't know. It's an assumption.
Just a little side note as you finish that, and I will say epic monologue there. You sort of look over and you see right now your dad is fighting away, and your dad's a hard man, hard farmer's man. He's fighting back a tier or two right now. Especially when you obviously not name dropped him per se, but mentioned him and how he saw you when you came back that day. You guys as well can see the stab of his heart there, as Wash mentioned that. There's regret in his father's eyes, but yeah.
Well, speaking from experience from watching your mates go down in a slaughter, it's tough. You probably heard me mention the ship before.
Briefly,
Up north. Something similar happened to us. We didn't get possessed as such. There's another creature that came out of nowhere, but I still have that resentment at that place. But Wash, or Oren, whatever you want to identify as, whether you want to leave that behind and try and create new, or to pick it up again and redeem yourself. We are going into Dereem. We'll figure it out together. And if it is a creature in there, creature, man, whatever it may be, whatever took control of you and your friends that day, we'll bring it back into this town. We'll lay it before them.
Them to know their peace, they can choose what they want. I just want to kill the fucking thing. If they want to hate me all my life, that's fine by me. There's only a few people that I think need to know the truth. And if they don't want to hear the truth, I'm not going to blame them. It's not their fault. I don't have anger at them. I'd have thought the same. The only reason I stayed by the name Wash was because I was scared that the people I cared about hated me. You can call me Wash, you can call me Aaron. Whatever.
Deep down inside, I think they know you didn't do this. I think they're just scared that
Yeah,
that could
probably.
happen.
Some people need a monster, you know.
We'll change up.
We'll see. I'm not asking for the world. Hell, if we get out of this fucking pit alive, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing next.
Well, your probation
But-
period will probably be over, and you'll be one of us.
I have thought about this for a long time, and Minetta specifically has been stationed here to watch Dereem. You've seen it before, but paladins are capable of curing disease. In some cases, we're capable of curing corruption as well. A curse. It may help. My ability to heal may be able to hold back. But we were there 2-3 hours. I don't know if that has anything to do with age. I don't know if anything. Unfortunately, as well, to say I have met the doctor, the one who I know I'm wearing the armor of. He originally did a survey of Dereem, and unless you have his notes, and unless he says anything about age, I have no idea if what kind of time we have.
We do have
Having-
his notes.
Having read the doctor's notes, do I happen to
What are you?
to know?
Fucking hell! I'm clicking the wrong button. You look about the age thing,
I
yeah.
suppose it would be. I
Yeah.
suppose it would be. Does time vary per age?
From the doctor's understandings in the notes, there wasn't. The issue was there wasn't that many younger folk that would enter. The main subjects he would deal with were looters and pillagers of adult age. But what he can ascertain is though he doesn't think age overly matters. It might be a small accelerant, but it wouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. It's a negligible variable, basically.
I
Um,
see.
Joel, maybe worth just pulling out the notes now.
They are in the handouts chat still. They're the censored ones in the handout
Yeah.
chat. So I should probably uncensor them shouldn't I, at this point. Yeah.
Reading but allowing an RP reason for me to actually say what's written there.
Mm-hmm. By all means, yeah.
So the doctor wrote about a sinkhole beneath the boathouse. Seems like he thinks this is maybe the source of the maddening rot.
And he's sure it's a disease.
He thinks it's fungal. And as he says, it doesn't take long before they show the first signs of the affliction.
About 2 hours.
He sees some people experience it in a couple of hours, but most will have the symptoms between 5 and 8. Those that show signs quicker tend to be young, older, ill.
So we have about 5 to 8 hours. Assuming you're on with peak condition.
Honey, he's been giving me jip recently, but I think I'll get by.
Oh yeah, my shoulder's really fucking.
Your dad looks at you. Don't fucking joke.
Well, Oren,
Scottish accent. Don't fucking joke.
Oren, if
I
you,
think
I think I should be okay. If
You
I
think?
don't think a mushroom's going to cause me much trouble.
if it's a form of corruption, it's
Curse, aye.
then
If it's
But
not,
if it's not a curse and it's
you'll be fine.
purely fungal based,
either
should
way,
be fine.
I can cure it. I think.
I
So
think
that might give us a bit more time. somebody shows the effects quickly. But the boathouse
I
is
think-
the boathouse is quite far, and would I know the
Facing
layout
other
of the room?
side. So Dereem is fairly similar to Brazen Fort, minus the canals that were on the way through. But the boathouse is basically from the if you're going to go to the hole that you entered on the western wall, it's on the polar opposite side of the city. You do have the gatehouse to the southwest, sort of thing, but the wall is full of holes and various places to enter and that sort of stuff. It's just your standard city layout now, or what's left of the city anyway, that hasn't crumbled and ruined in time. But yeah, from the hole in the wall that you were thinking of, where you entered as a young one, the boathouse on the polar opposite side of the city, you never got that far when you were adventuring with the gang. You didn't get too far in the city at all.
I think
Gang.
two important things that we all need to be in agreement with before we enter. First being that it is always okay to fight another day. If we feel like we need to get out of there, we need to get out of there and reevaluate our plan.
I agree. If we need to leave, if we're about to cut each other's heads off, we just leave. And if we have to as well, the best idea would be to split up. If we are succumbing to the effects, from my knowledge, if we leave Dereem, we should be okay. And the closer we are together, the more of a danger we are to each other.
Are we staying in pairs or are we splitting up completely?
Oh,
We
no.
don't know how.
That's what I
The
think.
problem is, we don't know if there is something else in there.
We stick together. We don't split the
Yeah.
party.
I say we only possibly move away from each other if we're starting to succumb to the rage.
So, Oren, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to meet your mentor?
I don't see why not. She's still at the statue.
You said she's been posted to watch over Dereem. She might have a little bit more insight into things that we could all
Possibly.
use.
I think, importantly as well, there's a second point. If we leave there, we need to quarantine. We can't risk spreading this if it is a disease to anywhere else in Lorethal.
Possibly, but no, you're
Well,
right. We don't know
Wash, you didn't
exactly
infect
why I
anyone
wasn't
when you came
affected.
out.
But we don't know why I wasn't. Why I wasn't affected. We don't know why. It was temporary, but we don't know if it was due to something else. So, I think honestly, Caligorm does have the right idea in this situation. We do at least need to stay away from people for at least a time. We need to see if the effects dissipate.
I think we leave and we set up the tent and we
You mean go into a
live
sort
there
of
again.
lockdown?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Sorry, too soon.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Sorry, my bad.
Well,
G.
We know from the doctor's notes at least that after infection, people tend to have 6 hours for the first symptom, another 6 for the second, 6 for the third, and then presumably in 6 hours they die.
And I will say the doctor's
we all know-
notes do say that even if someone's alone, they will end up taking themselves out if they don't have anybody else to fight.
That's why I'm the only survivor.
So quarantine only really needs to be 24 hours then.
Let's do it.
In the worst case
Fancy
scenario.
pants tent.
You say that like you don't like the fancy pants tent, even if
I
some
don't
of us
have a
do
room
have
in the
a hot
fancy
tub.
pants tent.
To be fair,
I haven't got one yet.
you bring up a point, Jib Wash. Would us setting up that tent, would that be a safe haven? It's another plane of existence.
What if we set up the tent and then pick it up from the inside and move about?
I think that's
Like a
impossible,
turtle.
Joel.
You want to
What
pick up
if
a
you put us-
dimension?
what-
Jesus Christ, you've been working out.
Well, we're
hell.
already carrying the dimension around, so
Yeah, on my back. But I don't think we can pick up the tent from the inside. You've seen the campfire.
Might
It's
be,
literally
I
a
don't
fucking open
know.
space.
If it's an infection that follows us, if it's a curse, absolutely not. If it's an infection, I don't know. I'm not a specialist or anything. Although we are possibly jumping over the obvious of what if this is a magical infection? What if this specifically isn't this native to this plane? What if this is a magically transmitted infection?
MTIs.
I've heard of them before. Just
Got to
Oh,
enchant your
MTIs.
tools, boys. Got to enchant your tools when you're
Wrap
working
your
with
ones up,
MTIs.
lads.
I would still like a talk with your mentor, just to see what kind of things she's got.
Don't know what she wouldn't have passed on to me, but fair enough.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm sure she'll carry her fucking stupid tall arse out the shadows at some point.
I'm not.
what have you got against tall people?
Well, I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'10".
She's
Relax.
a little taller than most, for my liking.
Sounds
You
like
might have
someone's
heard
got
of her.
little
I
man
don't
syndrome.
know. A lot of people called her the spine of the mountain.
Of course, I will say that'd be a name that does ring a bell in your head.
Spine of the mountain. Interesting.
In the circles you would have kicked out with, you'd have been known like the commander at one point would have wanted to try and get her, but she declined. That's all you know in direct impact. That's close person you know tried to interact with her. The commander tried to once recruit her for her skills, but she declined. But what you'd have known from, again, the rumors you've heard, she is a powerhouse for paladin. But you do know the kick to this one is her name's been kicking around for a long time.
The old.
No, I want to meet her even more. Spine of the mountain rings a bell with me.
Do you want her autograph? Or...
I mean, it would be quite fancy. I would be able to take it back to Commander and rub his nose in it that I actually talked to her properly.
I should probably get a kick out of that in her old age. Might as well.
I didn't mean anything bad towards you, Oren. I just meant she might have something that we click onto or something that makes
Not
sense
at all.
through our experiences.
Again, I've only been, she stayed, I've left. It's
I-
specifically been to train me to be able to come back here and do this
Yeah.
myself. So I'm happy that I'm not doing this myself, though. If you
If-
didn't want to go, you're free to.
No, we're here on different paths. You've got your own. We're here for another one. But I do have a slight advantage if it's a creature trying to take over your will. And I'll kind of be tapping my head. I'm like, Lucia, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure she'll be able to know if somebody's trying to invade my brain.
My brain.
Yep, both our brains. And I'll say that out loud by accident every day. In a
I
way.
literally live in your head rent free.
Alright, shh. Not you guys, sorry. We're getting where I am.
You done talking to yourself there?
You know Lucia, you've seen her.
I might have been dead for that part. I can't remember.
No, you were there beforehand.
You were there for that one, yeah. Right before you died.
I would
but
know. I can't see anything, can I?
The meta commentary on the dementia.
What?
Who are you?
Right. So then plan. Twilight Company. We go see the spine in the mountain. Talk to her for a little bit. And then we prepare
My bad.
for... how can you burp? Anyways.
You don't have an esophagus.
That's... That beer's coming back up, and I don't know how. But anyways...
It never went down.
Yeah, that's the point. I don't. Anyways, spine in the mountain, and then we prepare for going into Dereem.
I have one more
Meantime,
thing
Mel.
to do before Dereem, but that can wait for now.
Well,
I'm sure
I was
she'll
going to say, in
find
the
me.
meantime,
What-
I'm going to try and keep the townsfolk off your back and spread the good word of you. And
What-
the heroes are going to save the Dereem.
what time's it?
Don't get yourself.
Probably
hurt.
about 6, 7 p.m. now.
All right. We can go tomorrow. Light. So
Don't need it.
you've got the night to make whatever amends you need to do.
I'm sure she'll find me. I'll just have to wait here.
Well, first, can you introduce me the spine of the mountain first? Sorry.
Of course. have
Okay,
a
come on then.
crush.
Then we'll go.
If Sarah comes, I'll hold it here for you, man.
I just watched the nails.
Aye, don't worry, I can...
Aye, okay.
I was going to say I can handle her. I really can't. She's a feisty wee fuck, but I'll keep her here. Don't worry. But you guys go and... Aye. Do what you need to do.
Come on then. Meet the
I'll take
grandma.
you, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Are we all going to go meet the
Yes.
spine of the mountain?
I think we could all go meet the spine of a mountain. Sounds like a fun.
Mm-hmm. So you all wander the little path with Wash leading the way. You leave your father behind in the tavern.
Just before we leave, sorry, I'll turn to
course.
Lavender and just be like, just in case Leaf needs it, maybe leave Brownie here and tell Brownie to protect him.
Sure.
Making sure that it's playful protection, not full-on protection.
If I'm not here, I can't tell him what to do, so.
That's true. Maybe you should just come with us. Where the fuck is Silvery? I've not seen him in a while.
Just
As
get
you
a
guys-
shout on.
As you guys step outside, fuck course, you swear like Mothman eyes appear in the wood, but it's just silvery.
Oh, there he's there. Never mind. Right, moving on.
Flies off. No, you guys all begin to make your way down to, with Wash leading the way, where the spine of the mountain calls home. Let me get some bits pulled up here. So you step along, and again, it's now getting to that point where the sun is beginning to dip below the horizon, and the trees that you walk through in the forest cast very, very, very long shadows at this point into near pitch darkness in the far distance. You walk through patches of wildflowers and sweet-smelling grasses before the path ends, but Wash keeps walking deeper and deeper into the wood. And you find yourselves stepping into it's barely a clearing, but a smaller space where, I do beg your pardon, you find a well overgrown statue is standing there before you. Elril, you recognize the statue immediately, being quite a significant part of your family as an old statue of Bodin that nature is slowly but surely reclaiming, piece by piece, year by year. But nothing significant. As much as it is getting overgrown, you all see this, it is being cared for in some way, but not be completely be cleared of weeds. It's almost like someone's deliberately making the plants grow in certain areas but not in others, sort of thing. It's unique. You see a small little campfire is lit off to the side in a designated fire pit, and you see an elderly woman. Elderly woman is, putting it a bit bluntly. You can tell that as much as she is old, she is by no means weak and frail.
Gilf.
You
You already have a millennia old fucking crush.
Don't you dare call the Raven Queen a Gilf.
you see this woman, tall woman, standing at full height, about 5'11" or so, with black hair that's kept neatly in a braid that runs down the center of her back. Currently, she is wearing normal down clothes, let's call them. But you can see off to the side there is a heavy set of plate armor off to one side right now. It's not shined, it's not gleaming and glistening in the sunlight. It's functional and just. You can't see any scars or battle wounds that adorn her face. She looks up at you though with these older, that are once blue eyes, now turning slightly grayer, as she looks up and smiles at Wash initially, then looks at the rest of you all. See, you brought company?
You have a fan, apparently.
A fan? And who might be the wandering soul who comes to find me tonight?
I'll just point.
That one.
That
She
one.
stands up. She stands up, all 5'11", sort of parallel with your own height, sort of thing. And again, she is quite a wide, strong woman for her age. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's mine. I'm Fakora Zilrin. I was recruited by, well, into the Mirage unit.
Ah. That's a name.
I've heard stories about you. Commander
Sure you have.
Commander's ruse the chance that you had to try and bring you in.
I'm sure something he is still upset about even to this day if he still breathes.
Oh, he does. He's still running around trying to sort things out.
You Southerners and your military problems was never my cup of tea.
That's fair.
I was always up for the little man.
You try to be.
I know. I knew there was going to be good in that Mirage unit, but I also didn't want to be captain of anything. And she smiles at you.
I didn't
Seems
say
you
I
took
was
my spot.
captain. It seems like you already know.
I thought you said captain of the Mirage unit. Did you just say that?
I just said I was recruited into the Mirage unit.
Scratch that!
Catching a DM out today.
It's been a hot minute, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't want to captain anything.
That's fair. Seems like I ended up taking your role.
Oh. Well. I hope it's something that went well for you.
In parts. As you can imagine.
The line of work doesn't often come with all the benefits of the world.
Talking of which, the real reason why we're here is not for an autograph.
Oh. I'm touched. How can I help you? I'm guessing it's to do with our mutual friend here.
Yes.
They want
Oren's...
more info into getting Dereem.
Well, there's plenty of space around the fire if you'd like to pull up a log, and I can tell you what I know.
Yeah.
You sit down with her. I won't bore you with all the details, of course, but she tells you largely what you already know. To spare you the RP of it, she tells you that her history based behind Dereem, again, being a paladin that she was, and one of the last paladins of Odin. When Dereem fell, she was young at that point. Like, very, very young. And then since then, she's decided to try and find the root cause of evil for it, but was never able to get into the city for various obvious reasons. She didn't want to die in her duty doing it. She's watched countless adventurers come and none go. They've all entered the city and none have ever left. She basically took upon herself to be, like, as Wash has said, like a guardian, in the sense of making sure that those who wander too far get steered away as best she can. Not everyone will obey. Not everyone will want to obey, unfortunately. She knows the way the disease works as well, the maddening rot, how it functions, what the symptoms are. The only sort of additional tidbits you get is, well, let me tell you. And a few years ago, the men of metal came into the land. They set up a shop and they set up more barricades to try and keep people out, rip more signs, and it was unique to watch them. They all came in and I saw them one day, men and women. They actually introduced themselves to me. A man by the name of Dr. Castinius, he was a lovely fellow, dwarven, and his bunch of scientists. And one by one I saw them all climb in their metal suits, and over the years you watch the suits, I don't know how to describe it, go from having a personality to becoming bland. Until only the doctor's suit still had a soul within it that I could recognize. He and I would chat now and again about his findings and any updates, but there was nothing groundbreaking, I'd say. He was a nice man, the doctor. And so were his friends and scientists, before they met whatever end they did.
sorry to let you know, but the doctor has passed.
Well, he was a good man, and may peace find him in the afterlife, wherever that may be for him. And thank you for letting me know. I do really appreciate that, actually. I'd wondered where they'd gone. But that answers that one for me. But since they left, the city's been empty. There was a gang of raiders that went in about a week ago, but I've left them, to be honest. And of course, they haven't come out.
Got a couple of questions for you then.
Let me see if I can answer them.
First one being, and this will help us direct us. Do you think it's the fungal aspect? Do you think that is what's truly controlling this? Or is it a creature that's behind it all? A mind that's in there creating this?
What the doctor thought was a fungus. The spores that were hanging in the air. If you ask me, though, something doesn't quite add up, in my opinion. If it was just a fungus, you know, I've always thought there's something deeper, something more to the puzzle that the doctor could never quite find. As well, those afflicted apparently hear voices, are driven to a madness. I don't see that being the work of pure nature.
Do you know how it affects elves?
It affects everybody the exact same.
Next question. When's the point that you think we cannot push any further?
Elaborate for me, please.
If we're going in there and we start experiencing the symptoms, we've all agreed that if we start that, we get the fuck out. But where? Wow. What's the point that you say we've hit this point? It needs to be now to get out. We can't push any further.
The second you step through the boundaries. From my understanding and from the doctor's understanding, the second you feel paranoia whispers in your ear, it's over. All you can do is mitigate the damage you'll do to others around you.
Yeah, why is Wash here?
He's told you his backstory then.
Yeah.
Why is Wash here indeed? Something I've always asked myself, and I've trained the boy up to, well, now a man, to be the man that he is today. I've never put my finger on that, and neither could the doctor. The doctor wanted to take Wash away at some point, but I refused. Because as much as I trusted the doctor, I didn't trust who he reported to.
Smart. I like the
I
doctor.
had a nasty feeling that you'd be taken away and we never see you again.
And pushed into that environment again.
The doctor would have done anything. I just think he was reporting to higher ups.
Alright. Wash, somehow you're the key. In a weird way. You're the only one that's done this. Went in there, heard the whispers and came out. In a weird fucking fucked up style of destiny. And I'll look at the rest of the thing with the party. I'll just be like Callanthea leaving us and asking for a replacement, and you end up on our doorstep.
Well, truth be told, it wasn't perfect.
We were always planning to come and do it.
And I knew you were all thinking about Dereem. And so did that tricksy fucking guildmaster. Sorry, but he knows a lot more than he lets on. He might seem like a bumbling fool, but he is a terrifying individual.
I don't put it past him.
I think Foden works in mysterious ways.
Do you
You'll
know
see
much
that
about Odin?
Wash is kind of not disdain, but kind of like at the mention of Bowden apparently being responsible for this.
My brother was a follower of the old gods.
It's nice to see that old traditions are still kept up past me and this reluctant one.
I feel like he's been there for me when I needed him.
He is a bit works in mysterious ways, to say the least. But I've got my beliefs and you have yours, Wash. That's all we'll say on the matter.
I'd believe just like you if he'd ever speak to me.
Well, I'm afraid that's all I know of Dereem. I'll watch you from a distant enter, but I will not follow.
Oren, by the way, you don't really want voices in your head. Talking from experience.
I will take your word for it.
Appreciate-
You're welcome to stay around my fire if you want the evening here, or if you want to go back to town. But yeah, it is nice to meet a fan as well. She smiles at you, Falcoris, a little bit.
Just to wind up the commander.
Fair. Well, I'm here if you need me. And if, well, I'm not going to say that.
Insight check.
Insight?
Uh, 13.
He was going to say something, but she's bit her tongue, but you've got no idea what she was going to say.
As we turn, because I presume, I don't know what we're doing, I don't know if we're setting up camp here or moving on, but
I'll want to go back to town, but yeah.
I'll just be like,
We
so
don't pay for rooms.
Kelagorm,
Hmm.
I didn't realise you were a man of faith now.
I'm not good terms with the gods, but my brother was a fan. It was important to him.
Oh, we all know that. And I'll just be like, you know, to reveal
Wink,
your
wink.
true identity, but oh well.
But you guys make your way back to town then, or?
Just as we're leaving, I want to take just one of my plain daggers and leave it at the base of the statue.
She notices the spine of the mound. Menida notices that, and she, as you sort of trail behind a little bit to dig out the dagger and then put it down, your party walk ahead a little bit, not leaving you behind by any means, but of course, just you stopped and they didn't. She just comes up beside you a little bit. Thank you. Showing you respect.
I just nod and walk on.
She just watches you leave. You guys make your way back to the town then, or?
Yeah, we kind of do need to go back to town because we also were expecting backstory to come back.
You come back to town, and there's backstory. But as you get closer, you can see. Excuse me. Getting later in the evening now. Actually, before this point, probably the sunset at this point now. And you see like there's a couple of old torches that are lit, but nothing too illuminatory, so you can sneak through without people actually seeing Wash again, sort of thing. But you do make your way into the tavern space once more, and it is there as you open the door. You guys see Wash's dad. Excuse me, sitting at a table right now with one of his hands on the back of a short woman. Wash, you see a face that when you last saw, she was but a kid. Now she's matured into a full woman. She's still shorter than normal, standing about 5'3", 5'4". She's still got the freckles across her cheeks with reddish brown hair and short curls. Though she's got one that's braided in a little little beaded braid at the front of her. Brilliant green eyes that are now red around the edges. Wearing a lovely sort of summery dress sort of thing.
Why red round the edges?
Crying.
Oh, I did think so. I figured I'd ask.
Yeah.
So
no,
like
but-
got leprosy or something, like fucking rickets or some shit like that.
As she stands up, her knees bend perfectly outwards. I visit
Like a
Sea
basketball
Watch.
hoop.
And as you guys open the door, the auditory sound catches both her and your dad's attention, and they both look up simultaneously to see the party. But her eyes skip past every single person in your group and fall straight onto you. And you can see immediately, with no insight needed, the conflict of emotion within her. It goes from happiness to see a former best friend, anger, sadness, grief, trauma, everything. There's this boiling point, a mess of emotions within her head. And she tries to open her mouth, not even air escapes her. She's holding her breath. She's just lost.
Under his breath, Walsh would just go, "Ah, shit," and then walk up to the table. Do not. He will not say a word. He will not utter a word. He will walk up to the table. He will full on punch himself in the face. Recover, and just say, "That's at least one of the probable multiple physical attacks you want to give me, and I think I've done a better job than you would, so please don't hit me, and you can deal with the rest on your own."
Make a persuasion check, for fuck's sake, with advantage for punching yourself in the face. You seen that guy with, like, "Billy, show him how American you are." He just, like, does that.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
That is 821.
21. She's stunned by this display.
That was the point.
Just another emotion to throw into the bonfire that is. But she eventually... Just sit down, please.
He will sit.
What? How the... Where have you been?
Is it in bad taste to say dead?
Yeah. Like...
All over, really.
Okay. Sorry, I'm lost. I put so much shit behind me after that day. I buried you mentally as we buried them. Not in a bad, not entirely in a bad way. But... And she just throws her arms around you and hugs you.
You're gonna be very like, what the fuck just happened?
You look
Very
at your dad
slow
and goes,
hug. Yeah, I just slow hug, sort of not sure if this is like a very like clever assault.
and she just weeps into your chest for a good like few seconds before she eventually sniffs and composes herself and pulls herself off you. Sorry. I'm not used to seeing ghosts.
I don't really think anyone is.
Well, in your line of work, maybe. You know, your dad
A
tells me
couple
that
of
you're
ghosts.
a guild. Yeah, that must be pretty nice. Living the dream that we always said before?
It's not as
Right.
glamorous when you're on your own.
Well,
And you know, when
Um,
you're a possible, when you're, when most people think you're a possible child murderer, you kind of have to not
guys.
talk about or get close to anyone.
yeah, I can see that
Not a
being
lot of friends in the guild.
Yeah, I can
Picked up
see
these
that.
weirdos though.
Oh, yep, sorry. Hi. Shit, I'm sorry, guys. I'm Sarah. I used to know. We were kids and everything went wrong. Yeah, hi.
Pleasure.
Sorry, I forgot those other people here. She just looks back at you like a deer in the headlights sort of thing.
It's alright. I think Twilight Gumby. I think we go get another table and
Again,
leave
I
this.
just go into stealth and disappear from the awkward situation. Just
You guys can all roll to exit awkwardness. But you're doing gives you guys some space. Even your dad goes to drink with the Twilight Company for a little bit.
I'll get everyone in the bar a drink again, and then
You've been generous,
The
Caligorm.
whole town sloshed.
I say everyone in the bar when it's just us and Wash's dad.
Still being generous, Caligorm.
Like, what? This is a gold at a time.
Not
Huh?
even that. It's like a few silver, man. It's a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Your gold from before still is filling up.
Yeah, literally, the gold that you put down from the last round will still cover this, and the barman will tell you that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give him another one. That's fine.
He is like, oh shit.
I scared off all his customers bringing Wash back.
But you guys put up your own little table and put up you and have your own little conversations in the background, get to know Wash's dad a little bit maybe, or whatever you want to talk about, obviously. But when the group leave, Sarah turns back to you. Sorry, it's a...
You're
What?
fine. They're strange. Don't worry about it.
There's a suit of armor that looks like a skeleton.
Yes, that is just a suit of armor. That's not a
Fantastic.
fashion choice. That's just him.
There's also a woman with a bear.
You'd probably like her.
Cool.
The bear is friendly.
Oh, that's
She's an owl kicking about. The owl is not.
okay. I was
The owl,
not-
I'm pretty sure, is possessed by something. I haven't had a chance to check.
I'm not one for birds anyway, so that's fine. I
Probably
don't like
smart in this
flying
case.
things.
In the background, you hear slurping, and you just turn around and you see Valcoris feeding Brownie some fucking bacon or some shit. Anyway.
Some pocket bacon. Well, looks like you've got good friends now, though, right?
Well, you know, nearly died. Well, not nearly. Yeah, close enough. Nearly died trying to fight an orc. Orc chieftain up in the mountains.
Oh, the Thunderbrands. Yeah, we sort of noticed their attacks were getting less as of very recent.
They're dead
so-
now.
Oh,
Well, the chief is dead. They've disbanded. We sent them back home packing.
I mean, that's...
So
that's-
that group of weirdos is the defenders of the throne, and then I got contracted by the guild to go with them after one of their frontliner departed.
That's
Do
that's
something, I
really
don't know.
good. Because
Probably
they
some
weren't...
pompous shit like start a country.
That's really good because the Thunderbrands weren't, giving us too much shit. But now and again, if the crops grew too tall, we'd have to cut them down before we caught attention. But that's really good. Thank you. I don't know what to say, honestly. How long's it been?
At least 10 years. More.
You've grown up. I've grown up. And I don't just. Please know
Visited their
this.
graves every year. I never forgot, and I never Wait, did my dad explain it, or do you still think I'm a murderer?
He told me enough, and I never thought you were a murderer. We were that close as friends, I couldn't see you doing that. Ever. And when I, as we grew up and I learned more about the city and the mess that it is, I knew it wasn't you. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you did what you did, but it wasn't you that did it, if that makes sense. And I say, if that sounds insensitive, I'm sorry. But,
No.
again, you were there and I wasn't, and I don't know what happened, and fully, and do you know what? I don't need to know the middle.
You don't.
I knew the beginning when we were kids, getting into trouble with our parents, having fun as friends, as a group. And I knew the end, and that's all I need to know. But it wasn't the end, because you're back. There's a middle bit. Right? And you're staying now, right?
We're going into Dereem.
Why would you do that? Her face drops quite heavily.
Because that place needs cleared.
Yeah, but
It's a
doesn't it
stain.
You've been there. You don't need to go back.
No, I think because I have been there, I do need to go back. I'll never be able to get a good night's sleep for the rest of my life, knowing the fact that I think their souls are still trapped there. Became a paladin, for Christ's sake. We can see evil and good, and I don't see any good over those graves. I see nothing. I see a void, an emptiness. But over Dereem, I see a black cloud. I think their souls are still trapped there, and I can't live knowing the fact that they're still there, and thousands of others.
Can I ask, are you talking in metaphors, or do you literally mean you think their souls are there?
I think their souls are there.
Okay. Well, do me a favor then. If you are gonna go in, then I don't even need to make the promise of you coming back, because I know that might be a tall order for that place, but
I wouldn't be so cruel as to make it in the first place.
what I want you to do, though, if you do this, when I next go to their graves to say my hellos, make it feel like they're there for me. And if you don't come back, the town won't do this, but I will. I'll put a stone for you there with them.
Thank you, Sarah.
Can I give you a hug
I'm sure
again?
they'll break it down, but
They won't. Can I give you a hug again?
yes, absolutely, of course.
And she pulls you into another hug. This one not so much throwing herself at you anymore, but just, welcoming you in.
Mm-hmm. I will hug back.
Right, well, you've got a busy day ahead of you.
Yeah.
I I'll catch you. Are you leaving first light, or?
Hi, Dereem's harsh enough place on its own. We don't want to be sitting there in the dark.
Okay, well, before you leave town, or meet me on the outskirts, come find me. Meet me in the morning. Before you go, please.
Of course.
I'm gonna go home and get ready. I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, ready for what?
I'm not coming with you if that's what you're worried about.
I fucking hope not.
I'm getting ready for... You'll see in the morning, okay? Just
Okay.
have a good night. And it's
Good night.
genuinely good to see you again.
Good to be alive again, I suppose.
Okay. she does that awkward, like, do I say anything else sort of thing. She slowly shuffles away, like, do I say goodbye again, or before she just eventually leaves the room and heads out into the night air again. You join your companions at their own table that they found.
Lavender,
Yes.
do you think Brownie will arm wrestle me one day?
Why don't you ask him?
Brownie, will you arm wrestle me? Scooby?
No. If you ask Brian to arm wrestle, he just looks at your arm and goes to open his mouth. And puts
No,
it-
no, no. Arm wrestle. Oh my god. Yo, it's all slobbers now.
Your friend Wash joins you at the table. And you guys have the evening. It is getting about probably like quite late now. Not late, but you know, late enough.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for tomorrow then?
First light. Get up. We go to this gate. Where you said that wall was broken. I presume that's probably the only way in still.
There's multiple ways in. If you wanted to, we could even break the portcullis.
Wherever you think's best to get in there. By the sounds of it, we need to get to that sinkhole.
We need to reduce the time. Either the north or the south wall. I'm sure there'll be a crack closer to the actual east side where we can get to the sinkhole. I don't see why that would be an issue.
You take lead then.
I am your front man.
Probationary.
Don't know about anyone else, but gonna turn in.
Yeah.
One by one. Do you guys? I think you guys have rooms here. I think you got rooms in your
Yes,
mini
we did.
golds. You climb up to your respective bedrooms and get a nice long kip, and it's a good sleep for all of you. Even the ones that might have more emotional ties still get. Wash, just to say, you haven't slept well in a long time. You bore the burden of everything. You don't get a perfect night's sleep by any means. That's the best night's sleep you've had in a while, as you feel a weight is off your mind and your chest, and you haven't unloaded everything, of course, but you made peace with a couple of important things in your life tonight. You've done good. The rest of you come to consciousness next morning. And as you guys all begin to come downstairs, Sarah is waiting for you all in the in the main area of the tavern, and you can see that she has prepared like a little like a basket of breads and various hamper foods basically for the road for you guys, to help you send you on your way for breakfast on the road. You said you'd be leaving at first light, so I figured I'd help keep you nourished on the road, I guess. It's probably nothing but you're used to, but I hope it helps.
I think it will help a lot, personally.
If you guys will come back, I can make more.
Nothing beats a
Quite good.
picnic. Oh, I'll probably take that.
There's bread, there's some muffins for snacks, there's some meats, cheeses. You guys know how to make a sandwich. I'm sure you can figure it out. But yeah, it was lovely to meet you all.
Pleasure's ours.
Thank you.
Good luck, I guess.
We'll need it.
Lavender's gonna look at Joel. It smells amazing if that helps.
I wouldn't know. I can't smell.
Jesus Christ.
What smells amazing, by the way? Where am I?
Who the fuck are you all?
Ow.
And with that, you guys begin to head out towards the city, the cursed city that is. The road is. I'm gonna make my notes up. That'd be handy, wouldn't it? Woo! Actually, yeah, that's fine. You walk, and it's not the longest walk in the world from here. It takes you a couple of hours, but again, nothing too strenuous on your feet. You guys are used to day-long treks, so this is nothing. Excuse me. Where are we? Sorry, apologies. That's not the right music. What the fuck? Oh, bear with me 2 seconds. I made a small fucky wucky with my music, but bear with me.
Don't fuck up.
Kenku, come on.
But
Pull it together.
there we go. Coming on the outskirts of Dereem, the land, before you see the city, begins to tell of a tragic tale of woe.
Woe is me.
The smells of the wildlands surrender to a stale and stagnant scent that lingers like an unwelcome intruder in your own home. The colors of nature fail and fall into withered grey that seep depression. The sounds of the songbirds that sing their soulful tunes ends abruptly, and nothing but a silence hangs above you like the noose of the waiting gallows. The temperature doesn't change, yet you feel a chill run up your spines as the eerie plains you step through almost seems to dare you to walk closer and deeper into its patient and open maw. And at the top of all this, as you begin to see the ocean that the city rests against, grey clouds begin to roll overhead, and the light pitter-patter of falling rain soon turns into a full rainstorm. The ground underneath your boots turning into soft, squelching mud. As you get closer, as you lead them up the hill that you once walked up many, many years ago, you begin to see Dereem properly. Excuse me. The tragic state that Dereem has fallen into for many moons now is still. Whereas a normal city should be full of vibrancy, life, a loud cacophony of noise and hustle, Dereem is deathly silent. Not even the animals seem to come here, as Walsh alluded to earlier. There are no smoke pillars, no merchants coming and going, and no flags being flown. The city has a crumbling outer wall that traces the outline, and as Walsh has said, there are many holes across it. It has fallen into total disrepair. Although, as you walk closer, you can see that there are two main entrances the city holds, one being this large portcullis that you can see from here, the other one being what's called the gatehouse, where, again, basically like another security checkpoint from inland, from the south. You guys are coming in from the north. As you get closer, you can see there are wooden barricades set up on the road and spreading to your left and right as far as the eye can see. Each of these 6-foot wide wooden barricades has scripture written on it in Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, Gnomish, and Draconic. Danger of death, do not enter.
That
You
sign
walk-
won't stop me because I can't read.
You walk further past these signs, choosing not to heed their warning, and you see another large barricade with a larger sign, again written in multiple languages. Here lies lost Dereem and its countless souls. Least you wish to add to its death toll and meet your gods, do not pass this point. Those who do will not be saved. Those who do cannot be saved. To those of faith, pray to those who are lost here. To everyone else, respect the dead. To all, turn around. As you guys are getting closer, can I get you all to make a perception check for me, please?
No! Workers unite. Resist the DM.
You don't unionize the players?
I'm unionizing against the DM.
Yikes. I'm tunnel visioned.
No worries. We'll go around the table. Falcoris, can I start with you, please?
28.
Nice. Wash?
4.
4, okay. Elril?
15.
15. Joel?
Nat 20 for 25.
Nice. Lavender?
23.
Nice, guys.
Jesus.
Plus 10, baby.
Wash, as you just said there, you are in tunnel vision right now. You just see the city, and there's a few times where you might try not to let the others see it, but you need to stop, compose yourself a little bit as you have violent flashbacks in your head of sinister smiling faces of once friends bearing down at you, and terrible, terrible memories. Excuse me. You all, though, well, everyone apart from Wash, basically, you see that in the portcullis area, in the actual large portcullis itself, it's a separate building in the wall that still stands taller than the wall, as we sort of mentioned, as was a point of entry for much traffic. You can see, as you guys get closer, what looks to be small plumes of smoke emanating from inside. And as you get closer still, you can see that in the windows that once held glass, now smashed, flickers of fire from within.
Somebody's made camp.
What?
Somebody's made camp, and I'll point it.
Pointed out to yourself, Wash, you can certainly now see, and as can everybody else, that inside the portcullis house, there seems to be a fire.
What the?
Can I quickly wear my old veil over my current veil?
Certainly, yeah. You double veil up.
Yeah.
Helps keep it dry as well, so it's quite nice.
Yeah. I've technically just waterboarded myself.
No longer wants to set himself on fire, wants to drown himself.
It's an improvement.
Master of elements.
So, is there any sort of obvious... I mean, Wash probably knows, but is there any sort of obvious entry points into this to get to that?
Wherever you want to go. Again, the portcullis is on the outside of the wall anyway. It is a deliberate building that's against the wall, but built out into it, sort of thing. So it protrudes more into the land than to the city. But as Wash rightly says, you see the wall is in total disrepair. You can side skirt it easily if you wanted to and gain access at any point.
I want to try and get eyes on if there is beings up there huddled around the fire or whatever.
In the portcullis. You can try and sneak closer if you want to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Question:
Answer?
does detect good and evil go through walls?
I believe that's one of the
does-
ones that after a certain
It does
point.
up to a certain distance, and it's blocked by, I think it's like a certain amount of concrete or steel.
Let's see, detect.
I think it's
good
like
and
20 feet, but it's
Or
blocked
something of
by.
lead as well, right?
evil. Most prayers blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin, or 3 feet of wooden dirt. So yeah, and this is, I would say, a stone building.
So it's more than an inch of stone.
Yeah.
I will. I'll still.
Well, it's
use...
a foot of stone. It's still a foot of stone, not an inch, a foot.
Yeah, I'm saying it's more than an inch, so I wouldn't see them through.
No, it's blocked by a foot of stone, and yeah, but the
Yeah.
the walls are still more than a foot thick. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Being a
wouldn't be able to
defensive
see
wall.
them directly through the stone, but possibly through the window.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'll still activate detect good and evil because it lasts for a while anyway, and I will
Yeah.
try and see if I can see any figures through any openings.
As you get closer, you don't pick up anything of that. You know, you don't detect any celestials, fae, fiends, or undead, or anything else like that. And it does have a range of 30 feet, I believe.
It's
Yes.
60,
60. Oh, fair enough then.
I believe.
Forgive me.
Yeah, 60.
You don't pick up anything of that nature. Falcor says, you sneak a little bit closer. You can see, you can sort of peer through. You think you see one figure sat by the fire.
Any sort of details that I can make out? Armor, weapons.
They wear something very, very noticeable. Blue robes and a Creator Creation mask.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Agreed, sir.
Yeah,
for
fuck's sake.
One.
Could history check to make sure, see if I remember what blue means.
Certainly. I can just tell you. It's
I was going to say
basically
we've
like
got the expert
diplomat-
next to us as a suit of armor.
Basically, diplomats. They are the ones that actually came to the surface in the old way of the Creed and would negotiate with people, be they high up or otherwise.
Careful. If there's a blue here, probably accompanied. Eyes peeled.
You want me to?
Should go have a chat, I think.
Yeah, Caligom. Into the shadows. Lavender, I'll probably say you the same.
Yeah, can I try and sneak around and position myself? Maybe
may
try and
certainly roll stealth if Lavender wanted to do the same and get an advantageous sneaky position. You may roll stealth if you would so like.
And then
And
Falcors.
yes, Rain you can obscure if that's going to help you in any features you may have. I can
Oh,
see a little
shit, yeah, I
scroll
forget
through the
this.
character sheet.
One time in. I did roll 31, but it just means that I can hide.
Who
I
the
can hide
fuck
when
were
it might
you
be
again?
appeared.
Falcors will
31.
wait a few minutes for them to kind of peel off and get into the shadows, and then he'll literally just like not being stealthy anymore or anything like that. Will literally just go to his full height, broaden out his shoulders again, and just start walking towards the
Not a problem.
figure.
Also, Lavender, what was your stealth actually, please? Sorry?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, fantastic, thank you. Dirty 20 and 31. And Falcoris, you make yourself known.
Yeah, let's just stand
I'll
up
do
and
the
start
same.
walking.
As well.
As you do, the figure stands up from the ground. Again, wearing the blue robe, the ornate mask. As he stand up, these comes probably about 5'7" tall. They brush dirt from their behind as they look over at you. Twilight Company?
Yes, who are you?
I'm Maximus. I'm from the Creed of Creation.
Is that your real name or is that your code name?
That's real name. We don't do that anymore.
Why are you here? Weird place to make a camp.
You're a little close to Dereem.
I'm not here to stay, thankfully. I'm here for delivery for you guys.
Deliver? What?
Do you want to come in at the rain?
I mean, yeah, I'm coming in out of the rain. And I'll like
Okay.
start approaching, and I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for any sort of trickery, traps, anything of the sort.
You may make an investigation check for traps.
Not
Have you been
perception?
here long, Maximus?
You want to investigate?
Damn it.
No, thankfully. I arrived last night.
13.
That's long in this place.
15? You
13.
don't see any. 13, sorry, you don't see anything. Yeah, I've been told not to go past that door here. And he points. And as you get into this room, you can see that again, what is the old portcullis has been broken open. But you can see again, the crumbling stone had like a tiled ceiling at a triangular point, and there was holes in it. When you come inside this room, it's metal. Metal walls, metal floor, metal ceiling that's hidden within. Perfectly disguised so no one can see it's here. This room's safe, apparently.
Who sent you?
Miss Silversong.
Falcoris will relax a bit and just be like, and what have you got for us?
Well, news apparently travelled you were coming in here, and you might need some help, so the Cree's here to offer you a way inside safely. And he gestures, and you can see there's 4 large metal crates against one wall. Very large crates.
Falcoris will put his hand up and whistle and look out towards the shadows, like the dark areas, and be like, just be like,
You guys will enter. I don't know much here, but the doctor stayed here long enough. Miss Silversong wants to make sure that you guys wouldn't succumb to it as well, so... who's Falcoris, please?
that would be me.
Come here. And he walks you over to one of the suits, and he, with an arcane gesture of his hand, you see and you see inside a suit that looks very, very similar to one the doctor used to wear. This one's for you, custom made. Do I have a lavender? No, come here. Same thing, and he opens up your one with the same gesture. Yours opens up, and it's again a smaller suit than the one that Falcoris and the Doctor used to wear. But you see on the back is a large bow, almost as tall as the suit, made of pure metal. And you see a quiver of bronze arrows within it. Do I have a Kelagorm?
Yes.
Right, this one. And he gestures it and again opens up. You see again, similar to Lavender's, it's a suit that's not as heavily armored. But you immediately see that in the wrists are built-in daggers, like Ezio, sort of Assassin's Creed style, built-in daggers into the wrist. If this is a spell mistake, I'm sorry. Wash?
No, that's me.
Alright, fine. Here. He shows you to your one. You can see when he opens it up, this is thick boy armor. As well, just describe it as it is beefy. And do I have a Joel? Right. Don't have a suit for you. I can see why. But I do have something to etch into you. Some arcane protection.
What will it do to me?
Well, the doctor's theorized that in his notes and passings on that there might be a chance that no matter who you are, there could be some corruption involved. So even if you have a soul, you might be interfered with. This is designed to stop you. Well, you don't have the flesh to be broken. My understanding is you have a soul that can still be broken too. So I've got
Very
something to
well.
etch into your armor to help stop that happening.
Etch me up, Daddy.
And what he simply does is very much like a tattoo sort of style. He has a stencil and he just places it over a part of your shoulder, and just with a arcane tool, just begins chiseling in a symbol into you. He then places his hand over it, and there's a pulse of arcane energy that you can feel imbue your body. Right. I'll help you get into your suits. There is an issue with them. You can't really use your normal weapons. But Wash, that won't be a problem for you. The suit can compensate. You got a large enough weapon, apparently. Lavender, your bow won't work, but we've given you a bigger bow instead to help with the suit. Kelagorm, again, we understand you like using daggers, finesse, and sneak tactics. Your rapier's not going to be much use, but again, we built in the stuff instead. The wrists, and Falcoris, again, from what our understanding is, you fuck around with magic and swords, so we just made sure that your arcane abilities aren't going to be too interrupted by this, and actually enhanced a little bit as well.
I'll
Your
summon a
physical
sword in
melee
front of
fighting-
him.
Yeah, thanks for that. We don't know if you can use a sword or not. It might be a bit tricky in this suit, but certainly your arcane properties will not be affected, and actually starting to give you a little boost right now. Now, if you guys bear with me, I'm going to DM you all what your suit does.
Woo!
Nice.
Taylor suits.
You
We're
all,
getting Jaegered.
so all of you right now, all of you but Joel are going to get a +1 to your AC right now.
Oh.
And you all have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. All of you have this.
That's
Joel, obviously, again, not you, because you're not getting a suit.
Bludgeoning,
Question.
piercing.
Answer.
I was already wearing the doctor's armor,
Mm-hmm.
so
No, so is he
What?
actually, yeah.
what is going on with that?
Forget the
You put
I forgot it was the
more
doctor's
armor on.
I forgot it was you had the doctor's armor on, so ignore the AC bonus. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Because it's made by the same material. Completely my
I was
fault.
going to say,
It's alright.
as well,
don't worry about it.
my armor gives me a +1
Mhm.
to
So
AC.
Take the resistance.
Take the +1. You get in the buff. You take the +1. Take the
Okay, so an additional +1 on top
additional
of.
+1 to what you currently have.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, where is? There you go, Lavender. That's your suit's ability.
Abilities.
Make sure that's right. Eleril.
It's like a MOBA.
That's your suit's ability. Wash. Your suit's ability.
New toys, guys. New toys.
Falcoris. Andy, there's your suit's ability.
I am worried about what you're throwing with us with that. That's worrying. We're gonna go
So each
fight
of-
God or something.
Every time that you guys only get these perks inside the suits. If you take them off, you lose the ability.
Never
And-
take your shield off, boy.
Do we all get this what was described to Joel being protection.
You see your armors are etched with them as well, yeah. Very
Yeah.
similar to what the doctors that Washes were already wearing. You see this protective sigils and stuff etched all over the skins.
And so, can I just check as well? I have no ranged capabilities.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's-
So your bow will not work, unfortunately, because big clunky fingers.
Yeah, and I can't throw daggers or anything like that.
You could try it, but it might be a bit fumbly. You might have, let's say,
Okay.
disadvantage on doing that.
Okay.
So it does hamper some things, but it gives you buffs in others.
Okay.
And Lavender as well. No Lavender. Everyone else has got like fairly. Lavender, you've got an essay, and I do apologize, but I had to completely make sure I wasn't destroying your character, basically. So I do apologize about the reading you need to do.
So I
Any questions,
know,
let me know.
I know it was described as like they don't know what the fuck is going on with my sword type thing. Will I be able to use my sword in this?
As you go to summon the sword, it does, but you're again with these big chunky fingers, your hand is not getting the best grip, basically. So you can use it, but it might be a disadvantage. You might struggle now with the sword.
Fuck, because I'm a fucking martial fucking shit.
100 people.
How does
Smack me
so
in the
once
throat.
I'm in the armor, how does it feel? Do I feel confident that I could pick locks, disarm traps, stay quiet?
You definitely feel your lighter, your armor's lighter build. Sneaking, same for you, Lavender. Your sneak ability will not be impeded by this at
Okay.
all, basically. It's been built to make sure that you can still use all your dexterity and nimbleness to the best of your ability. But again, when it comes to lockpicking, it's going to take you longer because you need to make more not so fluid movements, if that makes any sense.
And is that so like mechanically does that negate my fast hands?
I probably yeah, mind to get your fast hands, yeah, because that
Okay.
basically means you do things at bonus actions, or isn't it, something like that?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can use a sleight of hand check as a or thieves tools as a bonus action normally. So I would just need to use an action then, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so you take your time and proper focus. Sorry if that hampers that a little bit, but yeah.
No, that's
Those
right.
are these
Fine.
suits.
It's just good for me to know.
And again, you guys can see that as Lavender is getting into her suit, the bow is this large longbow, but long for a longbow sort of thing, with a spiked bottom. And Maximus will explain that if Lavender wants to make a more powerful shot, she can basically slam the bow into the ground to anchor it, and then pull back on a heavy drawstring to launch more power behind the shot. He goes through all your abilities, obviously one by one, how the suit works, operates. He gives you like good half hour of making sure you're all suited up, feeling good, moving it, any kinks ironing out. But soon you're all suited and all good to go.
So if my sword is going to be at disadvantage... Sorry, I'm just trying to work out thematically what I'm going to do, because obviously Falcoris is a hex blade, so he relies on his blade.
You can still use the blade. You can still you obviously cast through it, and that's the stuff for your hex blade.
Yeah, no, but the only other thing that I've got is just Eldritch Blast, that's about it. Well, so I've got some stuff, I suppose I'll just need to use my die. I can only do it about 8 times, so I've got 8 rounds.
I might DM you something throughout the week, then we'll have a little talk throughout the week. When
Yeah.
It's going to be too much of a hamper. Let me know after the section, we'll have a little...
Yeah, because
Chit-chat.
literally the only thing I've got is Eldritch Blast that I could use after that.
Fair enough. Not a problem. We'll have a little chit-chat after the session then.
Okay.
Don't worry. I won't leave you completely dead in the water. But yeah, Maximus, after he suits you guys all up. Right, well, yeah, I'm going to go. I've done my job. I'm not going to stick around this shithole of a city for much longer. Again, Mary wants to, before I leave, wish you the best of luck. Come home safe. Yada, yada, yada.
That's no thanks.
Will do.
Don't know who we're thanking, but thank you.
Also, your Lavender, there's nothing for your bear, unfortunately. Yeah. I'll see myself out.
I'll cure
As
the bear
long
if
as
he
she
gets
surrendered.
infected.
It's probably best we leave him behind.
Don't know how.
I was actually gonna leave him behind. Somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Still
We
rude.
can-
You didn't make him into a big Mac bear, but you know.
Just to live with Leith for a bit.
You mean you didn't want to turn Brownie into a huge Mac bear?
I thought about it, but then I thought,
He would just be too powerful.
I've seen Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla before.
Yeah, but then you would have to have Silvery mixed up as well, because he would get fucking hella jealous.
That would just be too far. That it would be campaign over at that point, honestly.
Godzilla versus Radon or something.
Yeah,
Matt, one last thing. So I know I still get my armor bonus from my actual armor. Do I still get the Misty Step as well? Yeah.
Yeah. And you're still wearing that underneath, and it basically teleports you
Yeah.
whatever you're wearing, so that's fine.
Well, okay, I was going to say next question. Do I teleport without this?
No, because that's how Misty Step works. Is you teleport you
Yeah,
plus whatever you're wearing.
And the armor's left behind. Ah, shit.
Every time you Misty Step, you just wind up naked. Killigorm is on several registers now. Because he keeps teleporting around the place.
Maximus, again, well, yeah, I won't be here when you come back, because I don't want to be here in the first place. This is a shithole, and dangerous, and I'd rather not die. So, pleasure meeting you all. Good luck. See you on the other side, I guess.
Thank you.
Yep. And with that, he just basically like kicks the fire over to make sure it doesn't burn itself out. And he just sort of gives a nod, looks outside, pulls the hood up even though he's wearing a mask anyway, and leaves you all.
Alright, well, that's not something I was expecting, but fair enough.
Stop smacking the dog.
It's, I have to say it's reassuring to know we're somewhat protected, but at the same time, fighting in an unknown territory here.
Treat this as unknown territory.
I mean, more so not having access to all the resources.
It'll help, I think. Going in there, it might give us an advantage in a sort of not losing our minds. I think that's the biggest thing here. It might not give us full protection, but it might give us a little bit more time to work with.
Well, let's go.
Well, just keep your wits about you. This place is like none other you've probably been to before. I'm saying that to the people who've gone to literally the worst dimension ever.
It'll be different in its own ways.
But this is this dimension's version of hell. Keep your wits about you.
Alright. Let's move.
You guys approach the big metal doors of this quarantine room, if you want to call it that. And with probably two of you pushing them open, they slide sideways on little wheels. Seeing the inside of this city is unlike anything else. You can all picture, seeing what an abandoned settlement looks like in your heads. You've seen Dereem from a distance, but actually being in one so large is a mental sensation unlike any other. There is no noise besides that of the rain and your own footfalls that can be heard. The city is stuck in a perpetual moment of isolation and death. The trees that once grew in the summer and shed their leaves in the winter are now husks, hunched over and rotten to the core. Plant pots that once hung out of windows or placed near doors now either lay shattered and broken like the city itself, or holding nothing more than mouldy soil. The rain that falls across you right now would have been taken away by maintained drainage flows. Instead, now pools and puddles at your feet drown in the cobblestone path you walk on. And here and there, you see the former residents, looters and raiders, that dared to plunder the city after its demise. They're not as many as you'd expect to see, but you do still see them all the same. rotting corpses in various places. With no predators or scavengers to feast on the bodies, they are left to the demise of time to slowly decay on the ground where they lay. Disturbingly, it's clear from all these bodies you see, nobody here passed in peace. Swords stick out of chest, broken bottles smash into faces, necks twisted too far around. Echoes of agony wash over and fill the air with misery. And speaking of the air, as you walk, you begin to notice a thin haze through the rain. All around you, floating in the air, are little particles that one could dismiss as dust. But in your guts and in your heart of hearts, you think this is something far more sinister that you probably don't want to breathe into yourself. But over all of that, what you notice above all else is covering everything, from the bodies to the deadwood trees, the stone walls, and the floor, growing out of rooftops and out of windowsills, a strange fungus that none of you have quite ever seen before. It's shaped loosely like a fan of coral, though it has a sickly, greenish yellow coloration to it. Welcome to Dereem. Welcome to Lost Dereem. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Whoop whoop, enter the room. Here we go.
Going darkest dungeon in here. Jesus.
I know, there's a bit of a fucking dark monotone. I'm very sorry there, guys.
That's
Great.
We're all gonna
I
die.
Fucking love it. It's great.
I'm glad you did, thank you. But we're going to cut it a little bit short here tonight, because if we start anything else, then we've got like 10 minutes to do something. So
Yeah, not
probably
much
just-
point.
Yeah. So thank you to my players, as per usual. Sorry for the people in chat for the wait for this game, but you didn't miss anything when I was doing DM stuff.
Oh yeah.
What?
I said, oh
What'd you
yeah.
fucking- What'd you call me? I said, what? Did you miss anything when I was doing DM stuff? You just went, oh yeah.
I just went, oh yeah. Like, what's.
Cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
called you a short bastard.
Fair. Fair.
No, mental defenestration really does. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mental.
He was playing a horror game and now got apparently nightmares with all the lights on in his house. Good luck.
Love that.
Nice.
I love when that happens. But we are going to wrap it up. If you missed the start of stream, as we said, we are not going to be here next week as I will be away. And also the 25th, we'll also be off. But again, we will be here on the 18th with any given luck, unless anything pops up. Again, keep an eye on the Discord in case there's any updates and that sort of stuff. We will tell you all there. Is there anything else we need to say before we disappear into the ether, Andy, or?
No, sir. You can sign off.
Ether.
No worries. Well, in
I
that
don't
case,
want to
then,
go to the ether.
Lewis, I'm putting you back in the ether, right?
Oh, I don't like it there.
I'm sorry, but you need to go back. You've had
the
your time
Wi-Fi,
aside.
the Wi-Fi shit in the ether.
Yeah, and so it's the